Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel and welcome to what I think is going to be the longest video of the year, my 2019 favorites. But don't worry, I am going to include timestamps. Everything is going to be categorized. I did a little poll and I tried to see if you guys wanted me to do multiple videos or if you wanted one big video. I got a lot of feedback, a lot of different suggestions, but the mass majority wanted one video. So that is what I'm going to do today. However, timestamps, I'm going to leave down below in the description box the timestamps for each section. So I'm going to have a section for my blushes, my highlights, bronzers, foundations. So if you don't want to see certain sections, or if this is a video you want to come back to because it's too long, then you can absolutely do so. I was wondering myself, like, why is this going to be such a long video for me? Why do I have so many favorites? And I realized this is the first year that I have done YouTube exclusively. So that is why I have tried even more than I have in the past. And there's just some things that I can't take out of this video. So here we are, and I'm not going to ramble any further other than to tell you that if you're looking at this eye, it's throwing me off so, like, big time, major big time. I did this look, so if you're interested in it, it is from Linda Hallberg, her recent release, the Enchanted Mysteries palette. I am going to be doing this look as well as another look tomorrow. So if you're wondering about it, just check that out. All right, I'm going to start off with my favorite foundations of 2019. I feel like I did a really good job in some of these categories, like the foundation, where I really was nitpicky about it and only want to talk about my absolute favorites. But with this one, I want to do kind of an honorable mention because I know I mentioned this in my 2018 favorites. However, it came out at the end of the year and it's something I've been using all year, and it's something that I've started grabbing for again just recently in these cold months. And it is the Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation. That is what I'm wearing right now. I love this so much. I think I said I was cheating when I talked about it in my 2018 favorites, and it just goes to show that when I know that I absolutely love something, that I truly do. I've gone through a couple bottles of this. I am almost out of this one. I don't know if you can see on the side where it's clear, and then we've got some missing. I am about to have to repurchase this. This is a very beautiful foundation. It's a medium coverage, satin finish, very long lasting. I feel like it looks really beautiful on the skin. It doesn't matter if I'm breaking out or if my skin is perfect, this foundation looks amazing. So I had to throw this one in there. And in case you're wondering, I use the shade 2-in-1 Cashew. Now for the three that actually released this year, I'm not putting these in any particular order, by the way. I'm just categorizing each of them. So I have here the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation. I have raved and raved and raved about this. It is such a beautiful foundation. You get great coverage, medium to full. It lasts so well for a hydrating foundation, and it really is. It's not something that's going to make you look oily or dewy or anything like that. It's just kind of a natural look that's hydrated but not shiny or anything like that. This lasts so well, and I love the way it makes my skin look. I think this is one of her best releases from her brand in general. Love this one. Next up, you guys have heard me rave and rave and rave about this. This is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. I only have one complaint with this, and that's the SPF in it because it does end up breaking me out. But that is a testament to how much I actually love this foundation, is that I will risk a few breakouts because I love this so much. This gives me the most perfect looking skin all day long. It's not dry, it's not luminous. I would say it gives a natural finish to the skin. I feel like everybody can wear this, and if you're dry and you're wanting to wear this, I would just use something that's hydrating underneath it. But I'm telling you, I don't know the technology behind this, but it works. Nothing looks better at the end of the day that is not super matte in the beginning, because I feel like a lot of the times the ones that look really good at the end of the day start off really matte because I'm in the T-zone, I'm oily. And those end up looking good at the end of the day because I don't usually get too shiny. This one, I don't know what it is, but it looks amazing and almost like I had just put it on, no matter how long I wear it. It's just beautiful. And I just realized that I lied to you. I told you that I had 3 foundations other than the Laura Mercier, but I really have 4, so sorry. The next 2 are pretty much my go-tos for everyday makeup. These are the ones that I like to wear that have less coverage, that really look great on the skin, and I feel like I don't look really makeup-y whenever I have them on. The first one is the Surratt Dewdrop Foundation. Let me tell you the shades I wear in the other 2 first. So I wear 230 in the Fenty, and I wear 260 in the Shiseido. This is my absolute perfect match. If you're looking for an actual neutral undertone, this is it right there. So that's another thing I love about that. The shade is perfection. I wear shade number 4 in this one from Surratt. This is the lightest of coverage out of all of them. This isn't one that I would really pick up whenever, if I had like a lot of breakouts going on or anything, I would not pick this one up because it does not have a lot of coverage to it, but it perfects my skin and just makes it look absolutely beautiful. This is another one that it seems like, okay, dewdrop, you're going to be really dewy. It's not the case. It's kind of like the Armani Luminous Silk, where you would think, oh, you're going to be so luminous, but it's not. That's how this one is. Light coverage. It gives you a beautiful natural finish. It wears really well throughout the day. I don't find this to sink into my pores or anything like that. And again, I feel like this is going to be for everybody except for maybe really oily skin, because I think that you will have to, dab away some shine. But if you're looking for a really natural foundation with a really beautiful skin-like glow, that one's amazing. And then the last one is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm so glad that she did such a great job with this. I remember being a little bit concerned because the stick foundation was not for me. That is just not one that I got on board with. But the Luminous foundation from Anastasia Beverly Hills is just amazing. I've already purchased a backup of this. I think this is actually my new one, and I wear the shade 220N. This is, I think, the one that I use the most when it comes to daily wear. This lasts on my skin, again, very well. It's very important for me for my makeup to last. If I'm going to put it on, I want it to last all day long. And I'm combination skin type. So I get oily in my T-zone. I can be dry to normal on my cheeks. Right now, I am leaning more on the drier side on my cheeks. And then forehead can be normal. It can be dry, whatever. It's just, my biggest problem with dryness is right around my mouth. This foundation looks amazing. I was at Pilates the other day, and my Pilates instructor asked me, what foundation are you wearing? It's beautiful. And it was this one. So that is it for my foundations. Now we are going to move on to concealers, and I only have 2. I did so good with this one. These are the 2 that I use the most and I am the most impressed by. And if you don't know what I'm about to say, shame on you. Of course, I am just kidding. The very first one, and the one that I would choose over any of them, I don't care, this is the one I would pick. Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Concealer. I wear the shade number 5. This is, bar none, my absolute favorite concealer I have ever tried. And I have been using this all year. I went and I looked to see when it came out, and it came out at the beginning of the year. And I've still been using it this far, and I have already purchased another one. It takes quite a while for you to go through one of these. You don't need much medium coverage. You can build it up to full. I don't do that, but this is one of the only thinner type of concealers that I can use underneath my eyes, get a medium natural coverage, and it doesn't look crepey. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else out there, but on me, if I'm wearing a concealer that is a little bit thinner, it tends to look crepey underneath my eyes. I'm not sure what the logic is behind that, but this one, it's like stretchable something, and it really does. It feels like it stretches almost like a rubber band, and it moves with your skin. It doesn't end up looking dry at any point during the day. It's just amazing. And then this is what I would suggest to anybody who is looking for a matte concealer. If you're oily, or if you want something that is full coverage and you just want to look absolutely perfected. The other one I would suggest to everybody, even to people that have mature skin. That one just looks so amazing. This one right here, I did not think that I was going to enjoy, and I remember saying that in my video whenever I first used this. It's the Urban Decay Stay Naked Correcting Concealer. 40 NN is my shade. This concealer smooths and it perfects. It is full coverage. It is just absolutely amazing. This is what I have on my eyes right now. It lasts all day, and a lot of the times with a matte concealer, just the same as, something that's too thin, it can look crepey. And I really expected this one to look crepey at the end of the day. Even though when I first put it on, it looked amazing. I was like, surely by the end of the day, this is going to look so dry underneath my eyes, and it didn't. It didn't budge. It didn't start creasing or looking funky right underneath my eyes. It didn't do anything to my pores. I love this one, and I'm not a matte concealer type of girl. I used to be, but my under eyes also used to be very different. This one, for whatever reason, just works really well. Next category, powders. You guys crack me up. You guys are always in the comment section saying, "Powder queen, oh my gosh, this new powder's come out. Please review it." And obviously, I'm more than willing to oblige because I love powders, especially radiant powders. Those are like my favorite thing in the entire world. Sicily. This is one that was a little strange and a little hard to get used to. I wasn't sure how I liked it the best. I tried it out setting my face. I tried it out with touching up and all these different things, and it definitely has its purpose. This is the Sicily Blur Expert. It only comes in one color, I do believe. And this is what I like to take in my purse with a stiffer brush. Like this one right here, you can see it's a little bit denser, stiffer, and it will really pack on and blend, like press into the skin. I like to take a brush like this, dip into the powder, and then press along my smile lines if I have any issues with those moving around. If my pores look bad, oh my gosh, this will absolutely perfect it. Actually, this is okay, I've had this makeup bag. I don't know why I didn't show you. So this is what I will take in my purse if I know that I want to have something to touch up my makeup. And then this brush right here is the Sephora and Milk Makeup Collection. So you can see, again, it's a stiffer brush. I'll take it and then I'll just kind of press. And this blurs everything out and it will refresh my skin. If I have a breakout, this just makes it look like it's just, I don't know, velvet over top of it. It's absolutely beautiful. So that's how I use this powder the most. I was using it initially to set my makeup, and it does look beautiful that way, but my absolute favorite way to use this is as a touch-up powder. Oh, I felt so guilty about buying this powder because of the price, but then cost per gram, $4.40. When you go into and you look at all these other powders and you see what the price per gram is, this doesn't make me feel so bad. And somebody commented that, like, Mel, it's not that bad. Don't feel so bad. Yeah, I did the math, and $4.40 per gram because you're getting 40 grams of product in this one, and you also get a travel size one, which is amazing because I do travel, not a lot, but enough to where I like having my smaller container. This is the Skin Caviar Powder. The original version I actually did not like. I felt like it made my skin look cakey. I felt like, I don't know, dry, cakey, just not for me at all. But this one makes my skin look perfected. And I like to use this one to set my makeup. So I don't buff with it. I don't do anything other than set my makeup with this. And I remember letting Kelsey use this, and she put it underneath her eyes. She was like, oh my gosh, this is one of the smoothest powders you can possibly get. So if you're willing to invest the money right away, then this is a powder that I would suggest to literally everyone who enjoys powder. If you're somebody who doesn't like powder, you might not like this because it definitely gives a smoothed out powder appearance, not a dry powder. It's I don't know how to explain it. You have to watch my video on this. It's just kind of airbrushed, but it is slightly, It's kind of creamy. I don't know. It's beautiful. But if you don't like powder and you want something to set your makeup and you want to look hydrated and you want to look kind of luminous but you don't want to have any glitter, I have two powders for you. The very first one, by Terry Hyaluronic Tinted Hydra Powder. I prefer the tinted version myself. I just like the tint to it. This one right here is the number 200. This is what I use to set my face today. I'm running out. Don't worry, I've got two backups. So number 200, and then I love to use Rosy Light, this pink one right here, to either set underneath my eyes, or at the end I like to buff my powders. You guys know about my Sicily powder, my buffing technique. I like to take this and I will put it right underneath my eyes. I did it today. So if you can kind of see, I'm a little bit brighter right here, not because of concealer, not because of highlight or anything like that. I like to just take this. You can see I dumped it out yesterday's video. You can see me apply this in yesterday's video. I'm not going to dump this on my hand. But it blurs out your pores and it's hydrating at the same time. And it has this luminous finish. It doesn't look dry at all. It's perfecting. It looks like a filter. It's very lightweight. You can just dust this on and it's not even going to feel like powder. It's going to feel like you haven't put anything on your face, but somehow your face just looks amazing afterwards. There's so many different shades in this, and yes, there is the translucent that you can use as well, but again, I just prefer the tinted one. I like to have just, different options. And I really like apricot light as well to use as a buffing powder. It's beautiful. It just kind of illuminates my skin and gives it just like this little bit of glow. Another one is from Kogan Dough, and this is the, oh my gosh, it's not written in English on the bottom. I think it's the Sheer Moisture. They sent this over to me, and at first I was thinking that it looked like the Sheer Lucent. It is not the Sheer Lucent. You see right here. This one is extremely lightweight. It is so finely milled, just like the By Terry. This one is going to give you, again, a nice little bit of a sheen. It's not sparkly. And this is another one that I like to just set my face. The By Terry one, I have so many different uses for. I can set underneath my eyes. I can brighten up underneath my eyes. I can set my makeup. I can buff with it. I can do everything with that one singular powder. But this one right here is just an absolutely beautiful one. If you want something that's translucent, truly translucent, it doesn't really lighten up my foundation or anything like that, and it just looks like very, very natural. It doesn't look like heavy powder on your face. And then the last one is another one of my favorite glowy powders from the year. You guys know how I feel about my La Mer powder, my Sicily powder, and then I found this one. I know a lot of people love the Lancome Absolute powder. I have Absolute Pesh. That one is beautiful, but it's very, very, very intense. So it's almost like a highlight. This is what I would suggest if you're looking for something that is like that powder, has that type of texture to it, but it isn't going to be as intense. And there's different versions. I have like 3 of these. There's another one in there. I believe it's Ivory. I like to use one of these. I think the Ivory one to set. This is the one that's my favorite though, Misty Beige. This has a slight sheen to it. I wouldn't say sparkle, but I will say that it has just if you're out in the sun, you might see the hint, and they're micro. So they're not big or anything like that. It's just micro. It gives this beautiful glow from within to the skin. This is a buffing powder for me. This is what I like to use it for. And it's just beautiful. And it's called the Décolleté. Again, it just says face powder, and this is the number 10 Misty Beige. Again, there's several different shades. Now let's talk about bronzers. I sat here for, I'm not kidding, 20 minutes trying to find this bronzer, and it was sitting right in front of me. I was so irritated. The very first one is from Dior. This is a limited edition. I have to order a backup of this because I love it so much. It's the Dior Skin Mineral Nude Bronze Wild Earth Bronzer, and I have the shade number 1. I am about to hit pan on this. I'm not sure if you guys can see. The imprint on here is definitely gone, but I love this formula. It's very creamy. The color is bronzy, but not orange. It's just so beautiful. I love this. This formula is one of my absolute favorite formulas of bronzers that I have ever tried. So I know that this is still available at a few stores, so I'll try and find a few and link them down below. And then Fenty, ma'am, you did the thing with your bronzers. I have two favorites. The first one is Shady Biz. I have this one mixed in with the Scott Barnes palette. So I have the contour palette and then just a little bit of this to add a little bit more warmth. So this is Shady Biz. And then the one that I like to use during the winter time is In the Sun. So you can see this is much more on the cool neutral side. So Shady Biz, In the Sun. I love these. These are a matte formula. They go on really nicely. They blend out beautifully. And I think she just killed it with these. And again, there's a lot of different shades with those. All right, moving on to the last one for the bronzers. And the reason why I picked this for the bronzer category is because I just did, because this goes into the bronze category and the highlight category, but it is the Natasha Denona Tan, Bronze, and Glow palette. So obviously bronzer and glow. This is beautiful. I am not somebody who skips on blush, but when I use this palette, I absolutely can because the undertone of this bronzer is slightly pink. And I have to go in with an easy hand when I am a little bit lighter. I'm starting to lose my tan now. And I used it the other day and just did all this palette. So beautiful. This is the JLo face to me, is right here. You just don't get anything better than. Look this right here. This is the bronzer. The highlight is amazing. And then you have two powder or a cream right here. And then this is the super glow. And this just gives you the most beautiful bronze glow look. I love it so, so much. And again, yeah, I'll probably mention this one more time in the highlight category. All right, now let's get into my favorite blushes of 2019. I cannot believe it's almost 2020. All right, the very first one, the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush Quad, the Ghost version. This I cannot get enough of. If you're, again, somebody who travels, you need this. It literally has everything you could possibly need in it. And I feel like I've said this so many times, but it has your nude blush, you have a pinky blush, you have a bronzy nude, and then you have a very peachy pink. Two of them are the more luminous finish, and then the other two are the regular ones that still have like a skin-like finish, but these two right here have that iridescent type of sheen to it. It is still not too much that it's going to really emphasize anything. However, don't bring it too far in. But I just think this is so beautiful. I'm so happy that I finally have a brilliant nude that actually shows up on my skin. All the ones that I used in the singles did not work, and this one actually works. I just think this is so pretty. And again, you just have everything all in one. Another thing that I tried out this year is from Melt. I'm not actually sure if these came out this year or if I just tried them this year. It's all a blur. The first one is Honey Thief. This is just a beautiful neutral nude pink. It's so pretty, and the formula is really buttery, and it's still like a satin matte. It's not a dry finish. It's creamy, and it's very pigmented. The other color is Cali Dream. You know, I love a peach blush. I just really, really do. This is what it looks like. Again, it has that butteriness to it. These are so, so nice. They have another formula as well that's a little bit more radiant, but those are like my go-tos. Two more. The first one being from Cover FX. I call these the soap bars because that's just what it looks like. If you just were to hand this to somebody, you would think that they were handing you soap. It really does. This one is my favorite out of all the ones that I got, and it is the shade Soft Peach. So it's a duo. You have a matte and then a shimmer. I like to use the matte more than I do the shimmer, but when I use the shimmer, I like to take it on the back part of my face. So I will use this and put it all over like I normally would, and then I'll take the shimmer side, this one, and I kind of take it right back here. It's so flattering, and this is the other color right there, so you can see them. All of the ones that I have, I believe I have three All of them are really beautiful, but that one is my favorite. I didn't want to sit here and talk about all of them. And then Patrick Ta. You guys have been hearing me speak about this all the time, and it's been in my description box nonstop. This is She's Sincere. You guys see a theme here at all? Peachy pink, nude, you know, that's just my jam. This formula is so stunning. It's one of those that is skin-like, not glittery, not any kind of texture at all, but it is a skin-like formula. All right, moving on to highlights. I have primers listed next, but it just feels out of order. I really probably should have done primers first, but I didn't, so whatever. We're gonna move on to highlights, and I'm gonna tell you, I narrowed this down as much as I could. I really did, but we still have a lot to go over. I think this is going to be in so many people's favorites of 2019, and it is from Benefit Cookie. This first came out, I believe, in the trio, and I have that trio, the cheek leaders. I always want to call it the cheerleaders. The cheek leaders trio. This is so pretty. The formula is so good. The color is so good. I adore this. I have 2 backups of this, plus I have the cheek leaders, and I can't get enough of it. It is a beautiful champagne. Something that I absolutely adore is a pink undertoned highlight. You guys know Hollow Pink is my favorite of all time. That is from Dior. That is limited edition. I don't even know if you can get your hands on it anymore. But this right here, this looks like a boob. This is from Becca. This is their latest release, I believe, and it's the Pure Pearl Highlight. So smooth. This is not like the typical formula from Becca, and I like that because I find that their highlights can be a little thick and you really have to buff them in. This one is more like of a gelée powder kind of mix. It's just beautiful and I love it so much. Kind of like the Dior one, but not. The Dior one has a little bit more of like a shimmer to it and it has these tiny little blue specks that you can't see unless you're really close, but it gives this effect on the skin that is stunning. This doesn't have any of the shimmer, so if you're looking for something that's smoother but along the lines of Hollow Pink, I would suggest this one. Charlotte Tilbury did the thing with this one. This is the Magic Star highlighter. I didn't know if this was going to be too dark for me, but it's not. It's not. And even right now when I'm a little bit lighter, it's still not. This is going to work for a wide variety of skin tones. I showed this up against the Gold Bar highlighter and a bunch of different highlighters that were gold. And this is different than all the ones that I showed. It is so pretty. And again, it has that gelée powder type of texture that's just really smooth on the skin. It is very intense. It blends into the skin really well. And this is going to work from anybody from a light to deeper complexion. This just isn't going to work on somebody that's fair because it is a pretty intense gold. But on me, I am right now, Kelsey says I'm an NC 27. So let's just go with that. So around NC 25, I think I'll still be able to use that in the winter. I think at NC 20, I'll still be able to use that. Dior. I need a whole thing of this right here. This is their newest Backstage palette, the Glitz #2. This is so pretty. Again, a lot of different skin tones, and this is something that looks like, I don't feel like that looks like really anything super special swatched, but this is beautiful. It gives a just more of a skin tone peachy look. So it's not white, it's not pink, it just melts into the skin so nicely. And the color is very unique to my collection. The closest thing is another beautiful thing that I love, and it's from Dior as well. And these, I thought they were going to be very similar, but they're not as similar as I thought. This is the Nude Luminizer Lolly Glow #7. This is Peach Delight. I bought this for Kelsey. I think it was her birthday. This is Lolly Glow Peach Delight. And let me do a little swatch. I thought this was going to be too dark for me. In the store, I was like, this is going to be too dark for me, but it was so pretty that I had to grab it. And I'm so glad that I did. Let me do a little swatcheroo against the one in here. And this whole palette is beautiful. These two up top are really nice, but they do have a little bit of glitter in them. This one I really like to use on the eyes, but as you can see, I've hit pan on this one. This is my favorite. So these are the two side by side. This one's obviously lighter. This one is a little bit more peach than this one, but when you put these together, it is the bomb.com. I love to take the Peach Delight all over and then pinpoint with this shade. Oh, I can't get enough. I cannot get enough. And then, like I said, I had to put this in here twice, the Natasha Denona Tan, Bronze, and Glow palette, because I will grab this palette for the highlight alone. I don't even care to grab for this. I could if I wanted to, but I feel like the highlight in here is good all by itself. And it's one of those champagne golds. It's just absolutely perfect. Again, wide range of skin tones. I just love it. This palette in general is just beautiful. And then I couldn't decide which one I wanted to talk about with the Nabla ones. They sent all of them to me. I believe there's 6. I have 4 here. And I'm just going to swatch these really quickly. I think that they killed it both with packaging and the formula. The formula, again, gelée. It's so smooth, so skin-like, just beautiful. This one is called Privilege. It has a, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera. It has a slight pink champagne. It's like a mixture of pink and champagne in the best kind of way. I used this one a ton. And then the next one is Ozone. This is going to be for somebody who is a lot lighter. As you can see, that's pretty bright right there. And then we have Amnesia, which I really love. This is more on the gold side. See that? I love pairing these two together. And then the last one I can't use as a highlight, but I use it. It's on the ground. Everything's always on the ground. I'm gonna use my feet. I'm gonna use my feet. Believe it or not, I actually don't drop many things whenever I'm just like doing makeup myself. Just when I'm filming. I don't know why. So this one is called Truth. I can't use this by itself. You can see it's pretty dark, but I can use this further back as a topper and then use one of these right on top of the cheekbone, and it's just beautiful. I love those so much. That is high-end, amazing, buttery, smooth, no glitter formula at a great price. Just, Nabla. Yes, give it to me. Let's go on to primers. You know, I cheated a little bit last year, and I'm going to cheat a little bit this year, and I don't care because it came out this year. I just went over this. This is the By Terry Starlight Rose Youth Glow Elixir. I have this on my face right now. I cannot get enough of this. A, it smells amazing, and B, it is skincare and primer in one. So if you're looking for something that's going to get you out the door really, really quickly and has just a beautiful glow to it, and it actually smooths out the skin a little bit. Let's see. Oh, you're not really going to be able to see it on my hand. You have to watch the video. I did a very glowy, it was a skincare and makeup look all in one, and it was featuring By Terry. This, I feel like it makes my skin look more radiant, more smooth. Not like the pores. It's not like a pore smoothing or anything like that, but just overall looks more smooth and radiant, hydrated, and it just feels really, really nice. Now, another one from By Terry that you guys have heard me rave about for a while now is the By Terry Hydra Primer. This is good for everybody, even you oily skin people out there. I'm telling you, hydration when you're oily is such a great thing, because a lot of times oily skin people have dehydration issues. I know I do. And this is so nice because it is hydrating, but it doesn't feel wet on the skin or anything like that. Let me put this just like right over top of where I put the other. So as you can see, it's white, goes on, and then it just feels like your skin. It makes your makeup look better. It makes it more skin-like, but it's not something that's going to be heavy on your skin or make you look like you're a greasy mess. It just adds that hydration that you need. You should definitely try this even if you are oily, and if you are dry or dehydrated, this will be your best friend. And then one last thing, and it is not for the face, it is for the eyes. And you guys are probably so tired of me talking about this, but it is definitely a favorite of 2019. I love this. This has changed my eyeshadow game. It has changed my life. It hasn't changed my life. It's just changed my eyeshadow life. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Primer. When I first tried this, I noticed that my eyes looked like it was kind of dry looking. If you see that, push straight on past. It is fine. It is a different type of texture. It is not too tacky to where you're gonna have to set it in order to get your mattes to blend out, but then it's just tacky enough to hold on to your shimmers without having to use anything to make your shimmers stick to the eye, or like a spray or anything like that. This I used to clean up underneath my brows. I used it today to create this very dramatic eye look, and I just find it to work so well. I use a thin layer, not enough that it's going to completely take away, the veining on my eyes, but not so little that you can see everything through it, if that makes any sense at all. This is almost done. I'm almost through this one, and again, I do have a backup of this because it's changed the game for me. Again, I'm going to say, please come out with more colors. Please come out with more colors. Sorry for lighting changes. The sun is going down as I film this, and I'm having to stop in between and get the other products as I go. Anywho, moving on, the next topic is lip products. And the first thing is from Tatcha. I have no idea actually when this came out. However, this is something that I have been using all year long, and I use it every single time I do my makeup. I used to use the MAC Prep and Prime Lip Primer, but this is what I have been using now. This is the Camilla Gold Spun Lip Balm. I put this on after I do my foundation and my powder to make sure that my lips are really nice and hydrated for whenever it's the end of my makeup application. I go in with my lipstick. I can dab this off, leave it on if I need to, but usually I dab off any excess. And this just really helps to make my lips look their absolute best. So I absolutely had to put this in here. And you guys know that my collection with Christian Audette has to be in here for multiple reasons. A, their liners are the best liners in the entire world. I'm not sure what I'm going to do when these actually disappear. I'm probably gonna freak out, but I have a Smooches and Kitten liner. There they are side by side. And then my two lipsticks with them, I have on right now Smooches all over, and then Beauty lipstick on top. This right here, the packaging, everything. I just love what they did and the colors that they let me create. Love them so much. I'm so excited and so grateful, and just so many emotions about this collection. And then we've got Puffin. So that one, Beauty, is a cream lipstick, and this one is a suede matte, and it is a really bright, beautiful red orange. There's all of the colors. Now, the reason why I said I don't know what I'm going to do when I no longer have these liners available to me, it's because of this. I'm going to wipe off the lipsticks. The orange will stay a little bit because A, it's really, really dark, and then it's more of the suede matte. But this, I have to be careful. This is a new tattoo. These don't come off, you guys. They don't move, and they mean business. I love that so much. You guys, look. You see this? I'm going to have to really, I'm trying not to get my tattoo. But these do not move. I can eat, I can do whatever, and it just stays on. I love the formula. I love the colors. I love everything. There, we finally got them off. Those are comparable to nothing else that I've ever tried. They literally stay in place all day long. They glide on so effortlessly. And I mean, I picked out the colors, so I'm kind of partial. But that is definitely above everything else my favorite is my collection. So I just have to put that out there. And yes, they are still available and as individuals. But there are other things that I enjoyed prior to those coming out. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is from Charlotte Tilbury. Packaging, woohoo! I had to have every single one. There's all different packaging for each of the colors. However, I don't have all the colors, but I do have each of the packaging. I remember when I did my order, I was missing one or two, and so I had to place another order and make sure that I had them all. But I picked my 3 favorite colors. JK Magic, this one right here, and then Angel Alessandra. I love the peachiness of this. It is gorgeous. Really love that one in the springtime. And then Dance Floor Princess. I think I use this one and Angel Alessandra the most. And one of my favorite people and lipsticks, Lisa Eldridge. She came out during, oh, I don't remember, was it the spring collection? I have her original collection, and then I also have her nudes, which I actually have not even tried out yet. But Skyscraper Rose, these are the mattes, like that velvet matte. Look at this. Look how bright. And this one, and then customer service, amazing. This one actually broke Rainbow Spill, and I don't want to swatch my new one. So this one, yeah, it broke, as you can see, and they sent me one right back over. They were so kind. This color is my favorite, I think, out of all of them. This one right here. Oh, it is so beautiful. And the formula, it just really does feel almost like air and velvet. They are beautiful. There's nothing else like it that I can think of. I don't know. It's true matte, but airy and velvety. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Natasha Denona did a huge lipstick release, and they were all different shades of nudes, and she did such a wonderful job. I picked out my 2 favorites, the ones that you guys saw me using the most, which happened to be Beatrice. It's right here. See that? And then this one is Natasha. This was her favorite. This is a nude. So both of these are pretty light. I tend to like something that's a bit more light when I'm going for a nude lip, unless I'm wearing something that I have like what I have on right now. Something that's too light will be, I don't know, I will look completely washed out, but those I adore. And then one from Becca. Honestly, I would pick up more from Becca if they had more shades that I really loved. But this one, you guys heard me talk about all the time. This is Sugar. I initially got on board with these lipsticks because of the Chloe and Malika collection. I remember yours truly. I really like that one. But Sugar is my boo thing. This is stunning. All right, what else do I have? I have 2 glosses to share with you guys, one of which I am wearing right now, and the other one you guys have been seeing me wear quite frequently recently. The Hourglass, what are these called? The Unreal, I don't remember what they're called. These feel so nice, and I love the paddle on them. They have a really nice amount of pigmentation, so they're not too pigmented, but then they're not too light either. This one is in the shade Child. So that is what I have on top of Beauty and Smooches. I have several other ones, but this one is the one that I have on today, and it's one of my favorites. There's another one that's more pinky. I was looking for it, but I was running out of time. This is from Tom Ford. This is their new formula, and it is the shade Aura, number 9, the Gloss Luxe formula. And the packaging, it's luxe, very, very luxe. I love that they changed it from the brush to this applicator. And so this is more of a pinky tone right there. And you guys have been seeing me wear that on top of Beauty a lot. I just think that the combo with that on top is just so good. There's one more thing when it comes to lipsticks, and it's not actual lipsticks, but the cases. And I am such a collector of these now. I want them all, and they are from House of Sillage. Some of these were sent to me, and then some of them I have bought myself. I picked 3 of my favorites. So they have their own lipstick line, and you put their lipsticks on the inside, and they are refillable. You buy the case and just refill. So this one is the Christian Cohen or Cowan, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but this case right here is one of my absolute favorites. High gloss enamel, and then 300, I think it's over 300 Swarovski crystals on each of these, and they come with a case, and not all the cases are the same. Some of them have a different color to them. That one says House of Siage Christian Cohen. This one right here, the yellow, oh, I have a Tiffany blue one as well, but this, it's like neon yellow. So beautiful. I bought my mom a purple one because purple is her favorite color. And then my last one is this one from the Whispers of Truth collection. The white, it has a little bee on here. Obsessed, absolutely obsessed, and flowers, and the crystals on here are different colors. So you have green, blue, red, pink, and then the white. It's just so pretty. These are something that you really have to see in person and to truly appreciate. They're very luxurious. And then on the inside of the cases, you do have a mirror. So if you're carrying this around in your purse, you can see, you can just touch up. So beautiful. Brushes. Okay, so I had to do my research with this because I wanted to talk about the Sonia G brushes, and there's the Pro line and then the Sky set. Those are the two ones that I really wanted to talk about from her. And then I realized at the end of last year's video, I talked about the Pro Eye set. So I'm not going to talk about them this time, but I just want to mention that I'm still loving them. Then we have the Sky Eye set, and these I believe are going to be available sometime next year. This is perfect for people with smaller eyes. I love them, especially for a little bit more detail work. I love this brush right here, which is the Jumbo blender. You can pack all over the lid into the crease and just do everything with it. The flat definer is a multi-purpose brow, lip, underneath the lash line, inner corner, so many different things. And same with this one. This is the soft shader. I can really get into the crease with this. I can pack on the outer V. I can pack on all over the lid. I am obsessed with this one. This is the classic crease, and it really is exactly what it says, a classic crease brush. But it's not too big, it's not too small. And then the mini booster. I love this name. I love this for underneath. I love it for detail work in my crease. And like I said, if you have smaller eyes and you've been looking, or hooded eyes and you've been looking for a set, this is it right here. I adore them. And the same goes for her face set. So the Sky face set. Let me get all of these out. Here they are. This one right here, I have two of each of these sets because some were sent to me and then I was like, I have to have another one for backups. I don't like to have a dirty brush that I use all the time and not be able to use it again. So this one right here I think is my favorite out of the entire Sky collection. And this is the Master Face. I love this one for buffing and for my bronzer. So good. And then I use this one today, Soft Cheek, to apply my blush. If you're looking for something that is not too stiff or is going to apply blush just a little bit lighter, this one's beautiful. I have, again, two because I bought two. And then we have the Classic Cheek, which is one that I use more in a stamping motion, whereas the other one I like to kind of sweep it on. And then the Worker Fan. You can do so many different things with this. Highlight, contour, bronze, all over powder application. It's in the name, Worker Fan. And then this is another one that I use a ton, the Mini Cheek. Granted, it says it's for the cheek, but I use it for underneath my eyes to buff in like my By Terry powder. I love this for my highlight, especially when I want to go for something just a little bit lighter. It's beautiful, so beautiful. Both sets are amazing. And then also her Pro Face set. I feel bad because I do not have the entire set out here, so I'm going to insert a picture. But this set, it just does everything. You have your blush application, you have powder application, contour, bronzer, just everything. And then I really love the Cheek Pro. This is one of my favorite blush brushes. Because of the size and the flexibility of it, I feel like I can get both types of application, the stamping and the buffing. It's just beautiful, and the size is amazing. And then this brush right here, the one that I cannot pronounce, I love for all over face, and I love for bronzer, so many different things. I feel like this is such a versatile brush set. This one, the Face Pro, I use this the most to set my face. But again, this brush collection you can do so many different things with. It just really caters to your needs and how you like to use brushes. And Sonia G's brushes last. They don't fall apart. They are soft, but they are soft in a way that still works. They're not so soft that they don't pick up product or don't blend out. You know, sometimes that is a thing, and I'm not a big fan of that. These are soft while still being workhorse brushes, and I absolutely cannot get enough. If Sonia releases a brush set, I know I'm going to get it. Same with Wayne Goss. It's just like I have to have them. She also released the Designer Pro. Ah, again, so many different uses. Blush is how I use this the most. You can use it for bronzer application, highlight. You can use it for underneath your eyes. All different types of uses for these. And then I have to talk about my good friend Lisa J, BK Beauty. If you want some synthetic brushes that are amazing quality, I believe these are my favorite synthetic brushes that I've ever used. They are the highest quality ones I have ever used. I recently spoke about one of her newest ones. This is the only foundation brush that I get excited to use. I have stopped using my sponge as often to use this, and this is the new 106. This brush is new as well as the 105. I love the 105 for bronzer because it's so large, but you can also put on your powder with this. You can do foundation as well. If you want to do it real fast, this brush will do it. And then they have the angled foundation brush. This is the number 101. You have powder brushes in here. I use this one all the time. The 102 for all over. And then the 104. This one I really love for bronzer. This is the 103. And then the eye brushes, these work amazingly well. A lot of the times I find with synthetic hair brushes is that they aren't stiff enough or they have too much give to them to work how I like for my brushes to work. And all of her brushes work really well. So if you haven't checked out BK Beauty, the cause, the person, the company, everything about it is beautiful, including the brushes. So definitely check them out. So yeah, I have two more brushes hiding over here. I have brushes everywhere. I was trying to get them all in line, but I'm running out of time, you guys. I'm trying to get to the movies with my kids, and this video is taking me so long, and I have a deadline. I have a deadline. You guys have heard me talk about refer brushes so many times. So many times I've been in tutorials saying PO7A or, you know, whatever, because I have prototype brushes, but then I also have a lot of the brushes that actually have the number on them. Like this one is the number 2 and this one is the number 6 right here. There has not been a single refer brush that I don't enjoy. They have done an amazing thing. They made prototypes, sent them out to people, and then got feedback. Tweaked brushes to make them really suit the consumer and fit everybody's needs. There's a brush for everybody, and I really think they did such a great job. I love them. The owners are so nice. I've met with Tom twice with Kelsey, and you just couldn't meet better people. This brush right here, the number 3, I use it all the time. They have made this brush for me, the P21. This one isn't available yet, but a lot of you guys are getting this in the sets that you are receiving or probably have already received. I have amazing news, and I'm going to read this directly because I don't want to mess it up, but I have some exciting news for you guys, and this is just while supplies last. So if you're interested in this, make sure you do it immediately because, again, while supplies last. There's 2 different sets. There's the Holiday Set Classic. I'm going to insert a picture here with all the brushes that are included. The original price for this entire set is $540. They have it on sale for $340. If you use my code, you're getting another $100 off, and there is a complimentary bronzer brush, which is this one right here. I don't think you're gonna get the gold ferrule though. Oh my gosh, if you missed out on the original Tom Ford bronzer brush, this is the closest thing that you will ever get to it, and it's free, it's complimentary. And then you have also one other set, which is the travel set. So I just showed you a brush. that has the travel size handle. Let me show you the two different ones. There's the two different lengths right there, so you can see those. The travel set, again, $540 regular price, $340 currently, and with my code, $100 off. So if you want this, stop this video right now, go get it, and then come back. I'm telling you, I do not think these are going to last very long. So I want you guys to get them before they are out. No, I'm not kidding. Pause, go get them, come back. I'll still be here. We are getting down to the nitty gritty. I am about to go through my favorite palettes of the year, and then I'm going to just show you a few miscellaneous things. This was the hardest thing for me to do, and there's so many that I'm not going to go into great depth on each of these because it will take another hour. I'm just going to go through each of them and tell you why I love them. I'm going to start off with this one that makes everybody so angry. This is the Pat McGrath Divine Rose palette. Not expected. This is not something I expected to be a part of like my favorites of the year or my favorites in general. Even when I was using it, I just, I thought it was a good palette, but I don't know. I liked it, and then I just kept liking it more and more and more and more and more because I just think this is the best color story for me, and it has just the perfect amount of specialness to it and everyday to it. These shades right here, this is a repeat, by the way. That is something that I've said several times I don't like. I love this color. I love this one. I love this dusty mauve right here. It's just an everyday special palette. My favorite matte formula, my favorite special shades. It's just, this palette, in my opinion, should be permanent. And I want to mention again, these are in absolutely no particular order. I have two from Tom Ford. Both of these are the wet dry formula. The first one is Suspicion. This one, I almost didn't get it because I was like, I don't wear gold a whole lot, but it is such a wearable gold. And then the colors around it is a beautiful neutral look, an everyday work appropriate look, as well as a super amazing smoky eye. And then body heat. I think this is my new absolute favorite when it comes to the wet dry. There's something about this one that just I am absolutely in love with. It translates on my eyes really, really well. I have hazel eyes, and especially this color right here, it makes them look even more green. And then the formula is just amazing. How many of you remember how excited I was about this palette? I feel like this kind of goes with my look. The Vintage Rose palette from Give Me Glow. You can't go wrong with Give Me Glow. They have amazing pigmentation. Their matte formula, I believe, is a pressed pigment formula. They are extremely pigmented. Their metallics are extremely metallic. I love the green. I love this whole palette. It's stunning. I actually just want to show you this one. I love this color, and I've used that as a blush several times, and look at those. Such a good one. The one bad thing with, Give Me Glow and a lot of indie brands is that once it sells out, it sells out for a little while, and you have to be really patient in order to get your hands on it again. Another indie brand, Kaleidos. This is, I'm telling you guys, watch out. Kaleidos is taking over. Packaging is goals. I love this. It kind of reminds me of the Pat McGrath, not gonna lie. But my absolute favorite, I'll show you. This one is not the favorite. This one right here is, what name? What's your name? What's your name? Futurism Sci-Fi Green. I love this. If you're looking for something like Smoke Sessions or the other one from Melt, that one's so much better. And then this is Cyber Bronze, which is more of like the reds and the oranges. And then we have, this one's my favorite. This is the Astro Pink. And I have more, but I just don't have them here. This one is my favorite. I think this one is beautiful. Quality is amazing. So pigmented, so blendable. You guys know the drill. Retro, Mercury Retrograde. It's been a long time, you guys. I've been filming for a while. Mercury Retrograde by Huda Beauty. I don't think I need to speak too long on this in general. I have used this to death, top drawer status right here. I get my colors. I have my neutral shades that I absolutely love on my eyes. I have everything I need for pretty much any type of look that I want. This is one of my travel palettes. This is something that I use a ton of. And then from Juvia's Place, I have two. The Tribe palette, this is one of my favorite green palettes. I'm going to insert the look if I can remember to do so. I love this one as well as the one from Fumi. This is the Queen palette. I feel like I ended up doing very similar looks accidentally with both of these palettes, but they have the perfect shades. And this 6-pan palette right here, you can do your eyes and your face. This as a blush is so pretty. Fumi is amazing. I'm utterly in love with her, and this palette was just one of my favorites as far as a just 6-pan, colorful, pigmented, beautiful. Absolutely love it. And then Jackie Aina, come on, girl. I kept the box on this one because I love the outside packaging of it. So this is Jackie Aina and Anastasia Beverly Hills. Come through. Just, oh, I love it so much. This is it. This is one of my favorite colorful palettes in general. I love the tones that she picked. I love how bright it can be, yet how wearable it can be, because you have these tones in here that are more on the natural side, but this is just, it packs a punch. It's beautiful and it works on everybody, light to deep, everybody. She did a phenomenal job with this one, and I feel like people aren't talking about that one enough, myself included. I get caught up with the new releases, also known as Carly Bible. This is one I get a lot of use out of. I've used this one a ton. I talk about it all the time, how much I love the cool tones mixed in with the warm tones. It's one of my favorite things, and this palette does it so beautifully. I feel like she picked the perfect colors. They really speak to her, and same with Jackie. I feel like both palettes really speak to each individual, and I like seeing that when you're doing a collaboration, seeing the individual in the colors instead of just like putting a neutral palette together, unless you're just extremely neutral. You know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say here. Favorite Natasha Denona palette, and one of my favorite palettes of the year, the Metropolis palette. Textures, textures, textures. If you're looking for something, very warm, it's very, very warm. It's very orange, very gold, but you have your pops of color in here. This one has metallics, it has mattes, and then they have this creamy matte that's almost like a wet feeling formula. And I use this a ton. That's why it is absolutely disgusting. This is one of my favorite purchases of the year, to be completely honest with you. And then two more from Natasha Denona. Another one of my favorite color palettes. This one right here. This is the Sunrise. I much prefer this to the Sunset. I think the Sunset is amazing quality, but I almost never pick it up anymore, especially since I got this, because I like the tones more. I like the peachiness. I like the watermelon shades, and every shade in here is a good shade, where sometimes you get a Natasha palette and it can be kind of hit or miss, like the Safari palette, in my opinion. The all neutral palette, that doesn't make sense to me. Neutral to me is neither cool nor warm. This should be called the all natural palette in my opinion, but you know, that's just my opinion. She did such a great job again with the cool and the warm. In the Safari palette, I felt like she just, the cool tones just were patchy and I had a lot of difficulties with them. In this one, I feel like she did so much better. These work so well, and then I absolutely love this shade, and then these, they have just a tweak to them, and I speak about that a lot. I like it when you take a shade that maybe you see a lot of, like an orange, and you add this rusticness to it, and this slight, you can see almost like a peach in this shade right here called Buff. This is a tweaked palette, and to me this looks kind of Safari-esque. I don't know. All right, ColourPop did the thing with these two. I had several. I had so many in here that I really, really enjoyed. I was like, calm down, Mel, get two. So I picked out one color and one neutral. This is the epitome of a neutral palette. Going Coconuts. I love this one, and I grabbed for a ton. I'm like, please don't break my nail. This is a neutral palette. and it is so well done. Everything works well in here. All the mattes blend out very nicely and they all have pigmentation to them. And then It's My Pleasure. This one reminded me a little bit of my favorite Ciate palette, oh shoot, I don't remember, but I loved it. And this one is kind of like that one. If you're looking for a good, affordable purple palette that actually packs a punch, because purples can be a little bit difficult, this one is beautiful. It's so beautiful. All right, moving along, I want to talk about Sydney Grace, not just her in general. I talked about her singles recently, but I want to talk about her duochromes. I'm sorry, there's other shades in here, but these three right here are her, sorry, multi-chromes. The multi-chromes right here are these three, and I'm going to show you them swatched. This one is Chameleonaire, Twisted Shifter, and then Beau Regard. All of them, they all look like they are wet, which brings me to the next thing from her, which are her multi-chrome cream shadows. And I'm going to leave a video of these on the screen right now. I've done this several times. These are so smooth. They last all day long. They are so reflective, and they actually look like multi-chromes. A lot of the times I have several other multi-chromes from other companies, and she has my absolute favorite ones, both with shadows and cream. I haven't tried cream multi-chromes from anybody else, but I've tried like the Stila, whatever they tried to do that was a fail, and just other multi-chrome things in general. But Sydney Grace has my absolute favorites. All right, another cool tone palette, the Stiletto palette from Marc Jacobs. You're looking for just an easy peasy lemon squeezy that it comes from my kids. This one right here is it. There's not too many shades in here to overwhelm you, but just enough to make your everyday looks and then your more dramatic looks. This shade right here is so beautiful. I don't know if I can even get my finger in there with my nail. It's beautiful, and they all blend out so well. I love this one so much. I have three from Viseart. The first one is the Neutral Matte number 2. I'm going to mess up the name, so I'm not going to say it. This is like the darker version of it, and I think it pairs with the original one so well. And if you have a deeper complexion, this is the one to get. I don't know if you guys just heard that, but yes, I just dropped all those palettes on the floor. Charlie is running now. I have two Petite Pro palettes from Viseart. The first one is the number 5, Soleil. Again, if you want some purple, some yellow, just a little bit of color in your life, but you don't want a big, huge palette, amazing quality. And then this one is one of my favorites. I love peachy coral warm looks. This is the Apricotine. Is that what it is? Yes, Apricotine. This one is beautiful. So beautiful. And I want to mention two more Pat McGrath palettes. Both of them are from the Blitz Astral collection. She released 2 and then this one. This is my favorite of the first 2 that she released. This is Nocturnal Nirvana, a very colorful palette, all special shades. And then Ritualistic Rose, which I don't know if this is coming back or what, but I hope it does. It's on eBay for $125. I'm like, you guys, I can't stand it when people do that. But this one right here, again, all special shades. Such a beautiful job with that. Charlotte Tilbury. This is a palette that has all sheen, so there's no mattes in this palette. You've got some of them that have a little bit more of just like the sheen, and then some of them that are metallic and then more glitter. This palette is so gorgeous. I love to take this and pair it with other palettes, and I'm not one to do that a lot. I don't always like to take a palette like this and mix it with something else because I don't like to have to bring out two, but for this palette I will. And I'm also somebody who doesn't mind to have the right kind of shimmer in the crease and an all shimmer eye. And for Charlotte Tilbury, she's one of those that I feel like I can do an all shimmer look and it looks beautiful. And this is the Iconic palette. Two more, you guys, and they're both smaller. This one is from Huda Beauty, and it's her Mini Obsessions, the nude ones, the medium. This, I think that she did so much better with the release of these than she has with the others in the past that have been kind of hit or miss. This one is stunning. The lightest one is the one you're going to have the most trouble with, meaning you're going to have to pack it on and work with it a little bit more. But if you have really fair skin, it's going to be beautiful on you. This medium one and the deeper one is going to work on everybody. This one is my favorite because it has those rosy tones in here that I really love. And then lastly, you guys have heard me speak about this one a ton. Surratt Beauty Beyond Beige. All of these have a sheen, but they are so skin-like. I would recommend this to somebody who wants to have a very skin-like look. You don't want mattes, you don't want something that's too shimmery, but you want to have just some kind of sophistication there. This palette is absolutely gorgeous and it's so worth the money. There's no other textures I have felt that are anything like this. This is something that you really have to experience, and the colors in here are beautiful. They look basic, but I'm telling you, when you get them on the eyes, they're anything but. All right, I have two things that I want to talk about in the skincare realm, and then we are done. First off, my Zoe. I love this thing. I did a review on it. I compared it to the Clarisonic and then the Foreo. Oh, mine's a little funky. I need to wash it. I have been using this every single day ever since I have gotten it. I love it so much. I love that it doesn't make my skin raw. It doesn't cause any kind of micro tears in your skin. The battery life is really nice on it. However, they do have an updated version of it, and so that's the one that you will see on the site. I have a code with FREEZECO Beauty. They were the ones that sent this over to me. Thank you so much to them, and thank you for still letting me have my code. So if you are interested in this, I'm telling you, it is a game changer because you can apply your skincare with this. You can wash your face at the end of the day. It has two different sides and it has multiple points of pulsing. A lot of people in my comment section when I was talking about this against the Foreo, they're like, well, my entire one vibrates. And I'm like, yes, but it's not multiple points, whereas this one is. So it's just a little bit more even, and I love it. I love it. I love it. And then the last thing is from Tatcha. This is the Silk Peony eye cream. I love this. It melts into your skin. It does not leave a residue behind. It gives you just the perfect amount of hydration. I feel like it just makes your skin look so much better. It wears so well underneath makeup. And I finally finished this one off and I've had to repurchase. This has been one of my favorite skincare finds of the year. All right, you guys, I'm out of breath. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this really long video. Leave down below the things that you've been loving. I want to hear back from you. What are some of your favorites that you just were like, yes, this year? Now, I am running out the door to go watch a Christmas movie with my kids. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.